What if I told you that losing her was the best thing that could have happened to you? What if I told you that this pain you feel now, this tearing in your chest, is not a curse, but a blessing? Most men break when a woman chooses another. They sink into self-pity, desperately seeking closure, replaying every moment, wondering, what did I do wrong? But a Stoic man sees the truth. He does not chase, he does not beg, he does not crumble, because the moment she chose another, she made a decision, and that decision was not about you, but about her. The question is, will you let this destroy you, or will you let it forge you into something greater? Because the reality is, when she left, you are given a choice. You can stay broken, weak, and needy, or you can rise up. You can adopt the mindset of the man who cannot be shaken, a man who wins by letting go. And make no mistake, you will win, because while she waits for you to be lost without her, you are about to become the man she regrets letting go. The man who never loses is the one who never gets attached. If you're ready to master your emotions, reclaim your power, and make her see exactly what she lost, keep watching, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because what I'm about to tell you will change everything. A Stoic man sees the truth. The illusion of love feels real, doesn't it? The way she smiled at you, how she held your hand, how she whispered promises in the dark, everything seemed forever. But here's the truth. What you thought was love was an illusion, a mirage, created by your emotions, by your own mind. And now that she's gone, you're left with the harsh reality that love, in its purest form, is never as perfect as it seems. Most men build their world around a woman. They invest everything, time, energy, emotions, believing she will always feel the same. But feelings are temporary. They change like the tide, unpredictable and uncontrollable. One moment she swears love to you, and the next she's in another's arms, acting as if you never existed. And you're left broken, wondering, how could she move on so easily? The answer is simple. She never saw love the way you did. Men love with loyalty, with logic, with a sense of permanence. They see the woman as their partner, their future, their everything. But women love according to how they feel in the moment. They are guided by emotions, by excitement, by the constant need for stimulation. And when the novelty fades, when the emotional high becomes routine, they start looking elsewhere. Not because you did something wrong, nor because you weren't enough, but because she was never yours to keep. That's the illusion. The idea that love is unbreakable, that devotion is forever, that she will be by your side no matter what. It's a fairy tale, a fantasy sold to men from a young age. But the Stoic man sees reality. He understands that everything in life is temporary, including love. He doesn't beg for permanence in a world where everything is fleeting. Instead, he embraces detachment. When a woman chooses another, most men crumble. They become desperate, trying to prove their worth, recalling the moments they shared. They send messages, call, beg, but all that only shows weakness. Because the moment you seek validation from someone who already left you, you tell her she still holds power over you. A Stoic man never gives away his power. He doesn't try to get her back. He doesn't chase someone who already made her decision. He steps aside, lets her go, and understands a fundamental truth. She was never his possession to lose, and there lies true strength. When you stop seeing love as something to own or hold at all costs, you free yourself from the chains of heartbreak. You become untouchable. Because the man who cannot be broken by love is the man who commands respect. The one who does not chase is the one who is chased. And the one who does not need her is the one she regrets losing the most. Now it's your turn to adopt this mindset. Stop seeing her as your loss and start seeing her as your lesson. You were not defeated, you were freed. The illusion shattered, and now you can finally see. Control your emotions. Control your life. She expects you to break, to get lost, to drown in your emotions, desperate to get her back. She expects you to react, to lash out, to crumble under the weight of heartbreak. But that's exactly why you won't. Because the moment you let your emotions control you, you lose. A weak man lets his feelings dictate his actions. He sends late-night messages, hoping for one last conversation. He checks her social media, looking for signs she regrets it. He drowns in self-pity, believing his happiness depended on her presence. But a Stoic man understands a fundamental truth. He who controls his emotions controls his life. Think about this. What happens when you let your emotions dominate you? You become impulsive, react without thinking, act out of fear, pain, or that desperate need to recover what's lost. And every time you do, you give her more power over you. The more you react, the more she knows she still has you trapped. And when she knows that, she doesn't regret leaving you. She feels secure in her decision. That's why the Stoic approach is different. A Stoic man doesn't suppress his emotions. He masters them. He doesn't ignore his pain. He acknowledges it, but doesn't let it dictate his actions. He steps aside, detaches, and chooses how to respond. Because he understands true strength is not in the absence of emotion, but in the ability to stand firm in its presence. Imagine this. A fire burns inside you. The pain, anger, frustration of losing someone you loved. A weak man lets that fire consume him, turning his emotions into reckless actions. But a Stoic man doesn't let the fire control him. He uses it as fuel, as motivation, as strength to rise instead of destroy himself. That's what makes a man powerful, not his capacity to love, not his ability to beg or prove his worth, but his capacity to be indifferent to loss. The moment you stop reacting, stop seeking validation, stop caring if she regrets it or not, you win. And here's the key. When she sees you unshaken, when she notices you didn't crumble, didn't chase, didn't lose control, that's when doubt creeps into her mind. She starts wondering if she made the wrong choice, if you were more valuable than she thought. And that's when the dynamic changes. Because a man who controls himself is a man who controls everything. Women are attracted to strength, to mystery, to the unknown. The moment she feels she no longer controls your emotions, she starts questioning if she ever really understood you. That's why you must master yourself. Don't react. Don't chase. Don't give her the satisfaction of knowing she has power over you. Instead, take a step back, breathe, and take control. You're no longer the man begging for love, no longer the man needing reassurance. You are the man who stands firm, who walks away without looking back, who remains unmoved amidst the chaos around him. The power of walking away. Walking away is not losing, it's winning. Because the moment you walk away, you reclaim your value. The moment you walk away, you take back control. And the moment you walk away, she starts feeling the weight of your absence. Most men do exactly the opposite. They cling. They try to negotiate. They send long messages filled with emotion, hoping she suddenly realizes how much they meant to her. But here's the brutal truth. She already knew. She knew exactly what she was doing when she left. She knew you loved her. She knew you would suffer. And still, she made her decision. Now, it's your turn to make one. Will you degrade yourself trying to convince someone to stay? Will you cling to someone who already let you go? Or will you do what a Stoic man does? Walk away without hesitation, without explanations, without regrets. A Stoic man understands that walking away is not weakness. It's strength. Weak men cling. Weak men try to fix what's broken. Weak men beg for a love that's already been withdrawn. But a man of value knows his worth, and the one who knows his worth doesn't beg to be seen. He simply steps back. And here's the paradox. The moment you walk away, she starts feeling it. She begins to wonder why you didn't fight for her. She starts questioning why you didn't beg. She expected tears, desperation, proof that she was the one for you. But instead, you disappeared. You left her standing there, wondering if she ever really meant anything to you. And that's where the power lies. Because people only value what they fear losing forever. As long as you're present, available, waiting in the background. She knows she still has you. But the moment you leave for good, that's when she truly feels your absence. That's when regret begins. Most women don't regret losing a man immediately. They only regret it when they realize he moved on to something better. A better life, a better mindset, a better version of himself. They regret it when they see you thriving without them, without fuss, unreachable. They regret it when they understand they no longer have access to you. And that's why walking away is the ultimate power move. It's not about making her miss you, nor playing games. It's about understanding that a king never begs. King doesn't convince anyone to stay in his kingdom. A king simply lets go of whoever wants to leave. When you adopt this mindset, you'll see a shift in your energy. You'll stop being the man who begs for love and start being the man who deserves that love. Because true value is never found in desperation, but in detachment. The one who leaves first wins. And now you are that man. Silence is your most powerful weapon. Silence is the most powerful response you can give. No long messages, no explanations, no desperate attempts to change her mind. Just silence. Because while most men try to fix things with words, a Stoic man lets his absence speak for him. When a woman leaves, she expects a reaction. She expects anger, sadness, begging. She expects you to try to convince her she made a mistake. But the moment you give her nothing, when you disappear without a word, a seed of doubt is planted in her mind. Silence forces her to face her decision. And silence is stronger than any word you could say. Most men crumble. When a woman leaves, they send paragraphs trying to explain, begging for clarity, closure, one last conversation. But every word you send is a reminder that she still has power over you. That's why silence is your best weapon. It takes away her control, creates mystery, makes her wonder. Why hasn't he contacted me? Doesn't he care? Did I make the wrong decision? That's when the shift happens. The same woman who left, confident she made the right choice, begins to doubt. Because a man who can leave without looking back is a rare man. And women always desire the rare. Silence also gives you space to recover, to focus on yourself, your goals, your growth. No distractions, no waiting for replies. No wasting energy on someone who already decided to leave. While she waits for you to be broken, you're thriving. And here's the reality. Most women don't feel the loss of a man immediately. They don't regret it instantly. But after days, weeks, months of silence, they start wondering. Because the moment she sees you're no longer available, that you moved on without her, regret begins to rise. She may test you, send a random message, a hello without reason, an excuse to contact you. But here's where most men fail. Because if you answer, she knows she still has access to you. She never called because she missed you. She called to see if you were still an option. But the Stoic man remains silent because he knows answering only feeds her ego, not his value. He knows his time, energy, presence are privileges, not rights. And the moment she wasted them, she lost them forever. That is the power of silence. It puts control back in your hands. It makes her realize she underestimated you. It makes her feel the void of a world without you. And in the end, it forces her to see exactly what she lost. So say nothing, walk away, disappear, and let her mind do the work for you. Because the man who keeps silent is the man she never forgets. Level up and become unreachable. The best revenge isn't anger, nor proving she was wrong, not even making her miss you. The best revenge is becoming the man she can no longer have. A man so evolved, so powerful, so untouchable, that even if she wanted to come back, she wouldn't be able to reach you. Most men get stuck in their pain. They waste time overanalyzing what went wrong, obsessed with the past, trapped in a cycle of regret. But a Stoic man doesn't waste a second. He channels every drop of that pain into building his best version. He not only moves on, he levels up. And that's where you separate yourself from 99% of men. While she expects you to be broken, you are transforming. You are growing. While she seeks validation from another man, you are creating a version of yourself she will never reach again. This is the moment to change your mindset. Every workout, every book you read, every dollar you earn, it's not to prove anything to her, but to prove something to yourself. We're always the prize. You never needed her in the first place. She was just a chapter in your story, not the whole book. When a man commits to personal growth, he becomes unreachable. He becomes rare. And women chase the rare. They don't regret losing a man who stays the same. They regret losing a man who grows beyond them. Imagine this. In a few months, you're in the best shape of your life. Your mind sharp and focused. Your finances strong. Your energy different. You enter a room and everyone feels your presence. You no longer seek validation, you command it. And when she sees this new version of you, regret hits her like a storm. She wonders why she left you. She wonders if she underestimated you. She wonders if she made the wrong decision. Because the man she left behind is not the man she sees now. And the cruel reality is she can't have you back because you're no longer available. You're no longer stuck in the past, waiting for closure. You have surpassed her. And now you decide who deserves your time, energy, presence. That is what it means to be truly powerful. It's not about getting her back. It's about becoming the man who makes every woman regret ever leaving. And when you reach that level, her regret won't even matter. So stop thinking about her. Stop checking her social media. Stop waiting for signs she misses you. Instead, turn every moment of pain into fuel. Go to the gym. Build your empire. Sharpen your mind. because the man who becomes unreachable wins. Invert the power dynamic right now. She thinks she has all the power. She left, chose another, and is convinced she made the right decision. And she assumes you still think about her, miss her, want her back. But what if you stopped caring? What if you flipped the script? Here's where dark psychology comes in. It's about changing the power dynamic so that she's the one chasing you. And the secret is not manipulation or games, but indifference. Because the man who is indifferent, the truly detached man, is the one with all the power. Most men try to regain control by convincing her to come back. They post things on social media to get her attention. They try to make her jealous. They try to stay present in her mind, but all that comes from attachment. Attachment is weakness. The Stoic man disappears, not out of spite or to provoke a reaction, but simply because he stopped caring. And that's what tangles her mind. Because women expect men to chase, to wait in the background, to hope for another chance. But when you remove yourself completely, when you become silent and unreachable, she panics. She starts wondering why you haven't contacted her. She questions if you already replaced her. She wonders if she ever really had control over you. And that uncertainty is what creates her regret. Here's the truth few men understand. Women are attracted to what they can't control. The moment she feels she's losing control over you, her mind turns against her. When she senses you no longer affect her, you become valuable again to her. And the man who leaves first is the one who wins. Think about how many times you've seen a woman leave a man only to come back when he truly moved on. Not because she suddenly saw he was perfect, but because she realized she no longer had power over him. That's how you invert the power dynamic. You stop chasing, stop waiting, stop giving any emotional reaction. Instead, you level up, become unreachable, and make her feel your absence. Because silence is strong, and indifference is addictive. And the best part is, by the time she realizes she was wrong, you won't care anymore. She will come back, test the waters, try to regain her place in your life. But you'll be so far ahead, so evolved, she won't fit into your world anymore. That is true strength, not in making her regret, but in evolving so much that her regret doesn't matter at all. Attraction through detachment. The moment you stop caring is when she starts noticing you. When you detach, you become magnetic, because nothing is more attractive than a man who is completely indifferent. Many men make the mistake of thinking attraction comes from chasing. They believe if they try harder, say the right things, prove their worth, or show how much they care, she will come back. But the truth is, attraction isn't created by effort, that it's created by absence, by detachment, by the reality that she's no longer the center of your world. Women are emotional creatures who live to receive validation. When you take that validation away, when you stop giving her the attention she expects, she starts craving it. She begins to wonder why you don't chase her, why you don't react, why you moved on so easily. And here's the paradox. When you want her back, she doesn't feel urgency. But when you truly stop caring, when you genuinely detach yourself, she feels the void you left behind. And that void forces her to start chasing you. Because here is a truth most men don't understand. Women don't want a man who needs them. They want a man who needs no one. Neediness repels, indifference attracts. When a man is emotionally independent, when he doesn't need a woman to feel complete, he becomes rare. He becomes the kind of man women respect, admire, and secretly fear to lose. And those who lose him regret it for life. That is why detachment is so powerful, because it changes the entire dynamic. When she sees that you're no longer invested in her, when she sees you thriving without her, she starts asking herself, did I make a mistake? Was he better than I thought? Does he still think about me? And when those thoughts start to appear, she begins to look for signs that you still care. She might contact you, react to your posts, try to get your attention indirectly. But this is where most men fail. Because if she receives any response, she knows she still has a place in your mind. And once she knows that, the game is over. A true Stoic man doesn't just act detached, he is detached. He doesn't use it as a tactic to provoke a reaction. He genuinely moves on. He builds, he thrives, and he becomes a man so focused on his mission, so committed to his purpose, that a woman's absence is irrelevant to him. And that is what makes him irresistible. Because women don't desire men who chase. They desire men they cannot have. When she realizes you truly moved on, that you no longer care whether she regrets it or not, that is when she begins to feel that she lost something rare, something she will never find again. And now she has to live with that regret, the inevitable return. She thought she was making the right decision. She thought the grass was greener on the other side. She thought you would always be waiting in the background, begging for another chance. But now she's starting to realize she was wrong. Because while she expected you to chase, to beg, to prove your worth, you did the opposite. You disappeared. You leveled up. You became untouchable. And now she feels the weight of that decision. This is the inevitable return. It happens when a man truly detaches himself, when he stops reacting, when he stops needing, when he stops giving any kind of energy. The harsh truth is that women rarely regret losing a man immediately. They only regret it when they see what they've lost. At first, she's distracted. The excitement of the new, the thrill of attention, the temporary euphoria of believing she made the right choice. But when the dust settles, when the novelty fades, when she realizes the new situation isn't as perfect as she thought, that's when regret arrives. And when she looks back expecting to see the man she left behind, she sees someone completely different. She sees a man who is thriving, a man who has improved his life in every way, a man who no longer wants her, who no longer needs her, who doesn't even think about her. And that's what makes her lose control, because women are programmed to desire what they cannot have. And when she realizes she can't have you, that you've become someone she no longer has access to, she starts looking for ways to come back. She will test you. She will send random messages. She will comment on your social media. But here is where many men fail. Because they respond, fall into the trap, let her back into their world, hoping this time will be different. But a Stoic man sees those tests for what they are, a reaction to his indifference. She doesn't contact you because she suddenly respects you. She does it because your silence made her feel insecure. She wants to know if she still has power over you. She wants to see if she can still control you emotionally. But the moment you give her that validation, the moment you interact, the game resets. And suddenly she no longer feels that she lost you. She feels like she was just waiting for you to come back. That's why the Stoic man does nothing. He remains indifferent. He doesn't react. He doesn't respond. He moves on because he understands an irrefutable truth. Once a woman leaves, she's already made her decision. And a man of value doesn't allow someone to make the same mistake. Twice. She will come back. She always does. But by the time she does, you will have already moved past that stage. You will be a much bigger man, much stronger, far beyond who you were. And she will no longer have a place in your life. And that will be her greatest regret. You are always the prize. She didn't leave you. You let her go. And now you finally understand the truth. You were always the prize. At first, it didn't seem that way. When she left, when she chose another man, when she made you feel like you weren't enough, it seemed like you lost. But the reality is, she was the one who lost. And that is a loss she will carry for the rest of her life. Because while she was looking for something better, you were becoming something greater. You didn't cry over her, didn't beg for another chance. You built a man who will never have to chase anyone. You created a life so valuable, so powerful, so magnetic that her absence became irrelevant. Now you stand, look back, and smile because you understand something most men never will. The man who masters himself, who controls his emotions, who never begs for love, is the man who never loses. This is the Stoic mindset. It is understanding that nothing external defines your value. Not a woman, not a relationship, not rejection, not loss. Your value comes from within. And when you truly embody this mindset, you become untouchable. You no longer fear losing someone because you know a truly valuable man is never afraid to walk alone. You no longer seek validation from others because you validate yourself. You no longer chase love because you understand the only love that matters is self-respect. And now she sees it. She sees the man you've become. She sees the strength, success, confidence, the absence of need. And that's why she regrets letting you go. Because what she lost wasn't just a man. She lost the chance to be part of something great. But the difference is, you no longer care. You don't care if she regrets it or not. You don't care if she misses you. You don't care about her decisions, her mistakes, her feelings, because she is no longer part of your reality. You have won, not because you got her back, nor because she regretted it, but because you transcended the version of yourself that thought she was the best you could have. Now you know she was never your prize. You were hers. This is the final level. The moment you stop chasing, stop reacting, stop caring, you become the man who completely controls his destiny. And when you reach that level, everything, money, success, women, respect, comes to you effortlessly. Because the man who needs nothing attracts everything. Understand this. She didn't break you. She freed you. She didn't take away your happiness. She gave you the chance to build something greater. And in the end, it was never about her. It was always about you. The man who can master his emotions, who can walk away without hesitation, who can detach from what doesn't serve him, is the man who wins in life. Because a Stoic man doesn't chase. A Stoic man doesn't seek validation. A Stoic man doesn't need. And that is what makes him powerful. Now you have a choice. Will you stay trapped in the past, obsessed with what is gone? Or will you take this pain, this lesson, and transform into the kind of man who never experiences loss again? Because once you reach that level of strength, once you become a truly untouchable man, you will never have a broken heart again. Remember this. A man who knows his worth fears no loss. A man who respects himself doesn't need to convince anyone to see it. And a truly stoic man is the man everyone else regrets losing. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any lesson. Before you go, leave a comment below. A true stoic man never loses. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and remember, you are always the prize. Let me know if you want me to help with anything else.